Hello! Oh my goodness. Okay, so sorry for the close up. I was going live and I just got this notice that YouTube has stopped. So what we're gonna do is this is part two. If you're just joining us, you're coming at the best part. If you're rejoining us, thank you for coming back. Okay, so I have the bacon. Hello, my name is Krista Maxine, and thank you. Like and subscribe. Are you frenemies with your kitchen? Do you want to make cooking fun? We all got to eat, right? So that being said, okay, we have bacon cooking, and in here we have a double boiler. We are going to make some chocolate covered bacon. I know, right? Isn't that crazy? So the word of the day for drinking, go ahead and grab yourself a glass of wine, whatever you like to partake in, some tea, orange juice, whatever it is, mimosas, okay? So we have the bacon, okay? And tonight I'm just going to do a couple strips. I have the water in my double boiler. Of course, here's a tip already. You don't want any moisture in this pan because water and chocolate do not like each other at all. I'm telling you, they don't. So let's go ahead and put you over here. So for 5 strips of bacon, I don't really need that much of chocolate, right? But I have a bag of 10 ounces here. I'm going to use half the bag, which is 5 ounces. You can measure it out. But what I like to do sometimes if I don't measure, I mean, when you're baking a homemade cake and creme brulee and stuff, you want to measure. But what I do is, I need to cover this name, is this is 10 ounces, right? So this is the whole bag. Obviously, this isn't measured because it's air, and then you just take the bag in half and you cut it. So I have, going to be pouring 5 ounces of chocolate and 2 tablespoons of butter. When you are melting chocolate, you could add butter, you could add warm milk, hello, you could add heavy cream to your chocolate. Chocolate's a drinking word. Take a drink. Cheers. You want to add that liquid at the same time. You want to use a rubber spatula. Obviously, that is not, go ahead and smell it. Okay, because if there has been like a strong garlic smell or strong herbs that you don't want in your chocolate, don't use a rubber spatula. You don't want to use a wooden spoon because that pulls in moisture, and metal is just, it's not good. Okay? So, you can already see it's kind of melting. I started boiling the water, and then I turn it down. It's on low. Okay, so a very low simmer. And I started like, look at that. You don't want to touch the chocolate yet. You want to wait until the edges of the chocolate more are melted, are almost liquid. Okay? You can move the bowl, but you don't want to touch chocolate. You don't want to mess with it too much. Here's our bacon. You want to make our bacon really crispy. You want to get it really crispy. So I'm going to turn you guys down. To one of the stars of the show. Now you can go ahead and cook your bacon in the oven on a sheet pan with parchment paper or on a rack. But usually, I mean, shake your head yes if you agree. Usually in regular household kitchens, any type of smoke, even if you have like a couple pizza crumbs on the bottom of the oven, or bacon, or what was it? I was doing the jalapenos, right? In another video, you can go ahead and check below for how to make bacon wrapped jalapenos. And the alarm went off. So in most residential, like, kitchens, the alarms always go off, which is good. It's very, protection. But in the restaurant, they don't go off because we have, heavy duty vents. So you want, on the first video, I was showing you what kind of bacon I use. You want thick cut. You can get maple, applewood, cherry wood, but you want thick cut. You don't want that flimsy stuff because that's not going to hold up to the bacon. You can also put the bacon on skewers and kind of weave it in, and then that's easier for the people to eat. But I think with my bacon, I'm going to cover it with chocolate, except for like a little bit, so our fingers won't get messy. So I'm going to go ahead and turn over the bacon. And I might go ahead and have to turn it over one more time after this. But the bacon, I had it on 8 to start off. And then I turn it down to a medium high. And do you know what the awesome thing about this is that I'm coming from my kitchen as well. So it's a little bit more relatable. Oh, there's one piece that's done, so I'm going to go ahead and take this piece. I'm just going to put it on my plate. It's lined with some paper towels. That's going to be one of the tester pieces. And let's go ahead and check our chocolate. Here, come with me. So, I don't think I want to touch it yet. I want the chocolate a little bit more melty. When it becomes a little bit more liquid, you see how the butter is liquid right there? I'm going to move my butter over here. Oh, it's almost ready. And if you happen to have your chocolate, like, get moisture in it, like water or something of that sort, what you could do is you could add milk, heavy cream, more butter. But you want this liquid that you're adding to it, you want it like about the same temperature of the chocolate, which is about 115 degrees. I'm using dark chocolate, okay? And you don't want to add a cold liquid to the warm chocolate, because all that will do is it'll make it really grainy, and it will it'll just make it like clump up, okay? So let's look. My bacon's almost done. Except, of course, for the pieces, the edge pieces. So I'm going to scoop my bacon up like this. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over one more time. This should be the last time. This should be the last time that I have to turn it over. This guy is good. So this guy's going over here on paper towel to soak. This guy's good. He's going over with the rest of the people. There's like a big party going on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is... Hello! So in the first video, I did introduce myself, and then the connection was interrupted. So, my name is Krista Maxine. Merry Christmas! My name is Krista Maxine, and thank you for the likes and the subscribe to the channel. Why not learn how to cook, right? We all gotta eat. So that being said, okay, so this is real life, obviously, because the first like 5 minutes of the video was chopped off. There was an interruption. Some more pieces of bacon. Very close. Some more pieces of the bacon are done, so I'm going to go ahead and turn them over. I forgot to close my closet door because we were going to be faced this way. Oh, goodness. See what happens? Technology? But we're still going strong. Thank you for sticking with me. So all my bacon's done. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I'm just putting it on a plate with some paper towel, and I'm letting all the grease kind of Get off my bacon. My chocolate is ready to stir. So, oh, chocolate! Cheers! Do you know what's so crazy? Is that usually... Okay. So this is how it looks, right? I'm going to go ahead and stir it. What I'm going to go ahead and do is turn you guys around and move the camera. So come over with me. I'm going to take you guys down. Bring you over here. Okay. So you see the chocolate? It's a little thicker than what I wanted. For some reason, maybe it got too hot. Maybe I was distracted. Yeah, this is not... Let's go to commercial break. Beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop, beep, 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 boop, boop, boop. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and melt some butter, okay, and add it to this because my water isn't even boiling. It's just warm. So you know what? My butter's not cold; it's softened, but I'm gonna heat it up just a little bit. Okay, so hang in there. So, it's dark chocolate, dark chocolate chips, because I thought that would be the most commonly used and accessible. You can get that fancy cooking chocolate. I was going to close my closet, but it doesn't matter. But this is like the most budget friendly. So my butter's already softened, but what I'm going to do is just go ahead and melt it a little bit, because my chocolate, just like as I said in the previous video, if it does happen to clump up, oh, we said chocolate, take a drink. If it does happen to clump up, what you want to do is add some liquid, but you want the liquid not cold. You want it about the same temperature as the chocolate. So what I want you to know, even though I've been cooking for 19 years, things happen, and there's always a way to fix it. Okay, so let's put you down. Going to add the melted butter. To the chocolate. I'm going to go ahead and take it off. The heat, because all that's happening is it gets really soft and then it hardens up again. Oh my goodness, for the love of Jiminy Christmas. usually it's not this difficult. But let's just go ahead and make it up by just saying chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. I must say I am, the water is not boiling. It's just, it's, okay, so we're adding more butter. You see how it's getting glossy again and thin? That is what we want. This is what we want. So before it gets hard again, do you see how the butter makes it all glossy? So even us professionals make mistakes. And the Food Network, sometimes they show it, sometimes they don't. It is because they always have backup of stuff. But this is real life. Okay, look at that. That is perfect. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take my bacon. Thank you so much for sticking around with this mishap. But you know what? Real life. So there's a couple ways that you could do this. You can, I'm going to use this, or you could use a spoon. But I think with tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and scoot you guys over. I'm going to take a pastry brush. You can dip it, but that just becomes really messy. And the bacon, we want it crispy, right? So I don't want the bacon to break. We're going to leave a little bit of the bacon naked, so this is where all my guests and me will be eating it from. You see that? You could actually melt some more white chocolate and drizzle it. And where I'm putting the bacon right now is I'm putting it on a like a cooling rack. So it's not going to be sticking to anything in the very second once I put the chocolate. Okay, so here we go. This is what I wanted. This is how it came out the first time. My chocolate was beautiful. When I was like, yes, you know, let's do this. I've made this before. The chocolate is a nice glossy, not too thick, not too thin consistency. Okay, and this is what we are aiming for. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to do one more piece. And then after this, what we do is we're going to stick it in the freezer. You want to stick it in there about 2 to 3 minutes. And it would make the chocolate stick more to the bacon. Make it all pretty. You're going to keep it in your freezer for a few minutes. If you want to make this ahead of time, what I would do, look at that, is I would go ahead and, you know, make this, stick it in the freezer, take it out, and then, oh, this is a perfect piece. Look how crispy that is. And then go ahead and put it in your, oh, put it in your, hey, that's just 2 pieces right there. That's all. All I'm saying is that's 2 pieces. And then go ahead and put it in your fridge. But I do have Jiminy Christmas. But do you know what? We don't get frazzled. You don't get too stressed out. It's just cooking, you guys. You have the music in the background. You have the little drinkage. Everything is okay. It's just cooking, guys. Okay? And I have this one piece. It's very... So I'm going to... Okay, chocolate. This one seems like it's going to break, so I'm just going to go ahead and just press the chocolate again, okay? I already have a... Oh, wait. Here's my little tester piece, right? Whoops. Yum. Yummy. Yum. Yum. So, if you're not really a big fan of dark chocolate, I understand. Sometimes it can be a little bit bitter. But this dark chocolate with the bacon, it goes perfectly. Like if you use milk chocolate, it won't give you the same of like salty, dark chocolate consistency. With the salty and the sweet. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to raise you up. Gonna go into my freezer, and here I went ahead and already chilled the pan. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move the chocolate back over. I'm going to put the pan right. Did I not plan this out very well? I'm gonna go ahead and put it right there. What I'm gonna do now is just grab some parchment paper. I'm gonna put it on my sheet pan. You see how the parchment paper sticks to the sheet pan because the sheet pan's already cold? It's been in the freezer for about an hour. Then I'm going to take my lovely bacon. Pieces. You could even sprinkle peanuts over this. Crushed nuts. You could sprinkle a little bit of cayenne. If you want it to be a little bit more fancy schmancy, what you could do is go ahead and I think I said this, I definitely said this in the first video before we lost connection, but you can go ahead and stick the bacon in skewers and kind of like wave it and then cook it in the oven, so when they come out then they'll be on skewers, okay, and they'll look like a accordion, and that way the person has them on little sticks and you can put them like in a cute little glass. So now I'm gonna put these in the freezer. And I'm just gonna put them in the freezer for like 5 minutes to chill and to harden up. If I was going to have a party, I would stick them in the freezer, and maybe 5 minutes after the guests arrive, I'm going to go ahead and take them out of the freezer, and I'm going to stick them in a, I don't want to lay them down on each other. I want to stick them Do you ever have those days? Well, today's one week. So I would stick them with the part of the bacon that's not covered with chocolate. And you can put them in a mug like this. You can have like about 10 per mug, and some glass containers. With the skewers, you could kind of like, you know, zigzag them. So there you go. You need thick cut bacon. You need chocolate to work with you in the YouTube video. I would suggest dark chocolate. So with 5 ounces of dark chocolate morsels, I would go ahead and go with 6 ounces of butter. Obviously, with this brand of dark chocolate, which is 53% cacao, I needed more butter than what I'm used to. This extra chocolate right here, if I want to, I can go ahead and, you know, obviously add more butter, and I can like sprinkle it over some popcorn, or I can go ahead and put it in the freezer. Just make sure there's no moisture in it. So that being said, thank you very much for joining me. And I did say chocolate a couple times, so cheers, Merry Christmas, and thank you for the like and subscriptions. And just like I said, why not learn how to cook? Even as professionals, make a little mishaps, whoopsies, right? That being said, thank you, good night, and Merry Christmas.